Hi, welcome to another edition of Commercials I Hate.
Hey, bump, bump, bump. The mic works, or at least that part of the mic works. The sound of the is coming through. And it looks like the closed captions are also functional and trying their best if they're not doing exactly what it's supposed to say. Anyway, we'll be right there. One moment. Hey, bump, bump, bump. Got any grapes? Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday as I look at my phone to see that it is actually...
The machinations of my mind are an enigma.
Did it work? Is that how it's supposed to is that how you imagined it? It also works with there's another command. Hold on. I'll tell you what it is in a second. It's not a regular command. It is a sound. Let's look in the sounds. Where is the sounds? Enigma. Oh, it also works if you put command machinations. Enigma seemed easier. But there you are. I cleared it out of the reward queue after not 1, but 2 months of sitting there. I did clear it. We have some new sounds, and the other sounds I think are going to work today. I think I solved the problem, but you never know. You really don't know.
And it don't matter. None of this matters.
Anyway, let me scroll back up. Not and Getty, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, Charcoal Dragon. Welcome. Welcome back. Hello, Shayna. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I hope you are doing fantastic. Boris, welcome in. Good day.
Hello.
The chicken check-in. I love it. Angry Rook, welcome in. Welcome in. Angry Rook, I was really satisfied the other day because in my daily chess game, I got a really easy back rank mate against a friend of mine. And I was like, I did it. It was with the Rook.
Hello.
Oriah, welcome in. Mix, hello. Welcome in. It is strawberry season. It is very much strawberry season. You know what I did the other day? I took a picture of it and I actually meant to post it in Discord, and I will instead, like one of the ancients, I will hold my phone up to the screen and show you, and show you. The other night, like 2 nights ago, something like that. Maybe. Did I actually take a picture of it, or did I just fucking imagine it? No, I did actually take a picture of it. This was my me having snacks on the couch the other night. Just a knife and a bunch of strawberries and a bowl for the on a cutting board and a bowl for the tops. I should just post this. I should just post this shit in Discord. I don't know why I don't. I know why I don't, because then I don't. It's not. I don't know. Whatever. I just don't. I don't actually know why I don't. Shano, you were talking about strawberry salad. What is your perfect strawberry salad have on it. Mix, it's not quite strawberry season there. It's almost over here. You have to go north of here to get strawberries now. The folks at the market were like, next week might be the last week for strawberries. And I was like, I'm going to take a lot of them. And they were on the order form for this week, so I ordered a bunch of them. We had frost last week. Amazing. It's 32 degrees here today. I'm sweating. It also occurs to me I'm wearing the same thing that I was wearing yesterday. I'm wearing the exact same shirt. This is the shirt that I wear out of the house in the summer to cover like my arms. And sometimes I just don't take it off when I come back in. Liz says, can't wait to see how long it takes to make salad. Oh. I mean, you're not wrong. I was like, we're gonna have dinner at 7:30 today. Titanic flute plays melodically in the background. Are we making croutons? I don't think I was going to make croutons, but maybe I could. I don't know if I have bread to make croutons, honestly. The salad is going to be chicken, like not grilled chicken, but chicken thighs in the oven on a rack, like a wire. I'm going to cook them on a wire rack. Bib lettuce, spinach, strawberries, obviously. I was going to put avocado in it. And maybe if I have one, I don't actually know if I have one. And what else? I wrote down feta, which I have. I also wrote down sesame. So I don't really know what's going to be in it. I might as well make some croutons though, if I have bread in there, because I'm going to have the oven on. So why not? It makes sense. And other things. The other things are just whatever the hell I pull out of the cabinet. This is a, I would call this dinner. This is like a big salad, but this is a big salad with intention. So I also love making, and I don't think I've made it on stream in a really long time. Just like a big salad with whatever in it. Like usually those nights have everything in the crisper drawer. Like it doesn't really matter. Oh, roasted fennel. That's the other thing that's going to go in this. So I do have the oven on. There's going to be like some roasted stuff, but all of that's going to get like cooled back down. Right? Yeah. You hard boil some eggs. You candy some pecans. You grate the cheese, you make some chicken, like you just everything that you can put in it. I was gone. Oh my. I'm sorry. I hope your journey and adventure out in the world yesterday was productive though. And I hope that your washer situation it gets improved. Improves. That kind of sucks. And I have been out, I've been on the move since noon. And this is like the first moment of coming down. I haven't had any water today. I've been out in the city. I was walking around. I was on the bus. I was at a school. I was on another bus. I was at another school. I was at the playground. It was a lot. Today was a lot. It wasn't actually a lot. This afternoon was a lot. This morning was great. This morning I was just on the computer, and that was really nice. But let's here's my thought. I'm gonna get all the stuff that I need out of the fridge and just like put it on the counter. I'm gonna turn the oven on so that I can make the chicken. The chicken's frozen, so I'm just gonna put it in the oven for a few minutes until it's like kind of thawed, and then I'll take it back out again and season it because it's frozen solid. So if I season it now, it's just not gonna do anything. So we'll get the chicken going first. I'll check for crouton stuff. I will cut the fennel. I want to get all the oven stuff out of the way. Chicken, fennel, croutons, and break. Okay, turn the oven on. Check the oven for pans. What do we want to roast all this at? I want to roast this at a good 400 degrees. Of course, the last 2 days have been busy. It is that time of year. I feel like a lot of folks are in that same boat. I know with school, for me anyway, with school, and school ends next Friday is the last day of school in the city. So there's all sorts of stuff going on. There was a concert last week. There's a concert this week. There's field day next Monday. There's like dress down day all next week. There's like we had a birthday party, like just shit going on. It's that time of year. Kind of awful. Oh gosh, mowing and string trimming. Been lazy. You deserve it. That's a lot of work. That is a lot of work. Although it's nicer when it's cooler outside. mowing in the summer is depressing. For like 3 weeks one summer, no, like a month one summer, I had a job lawn mowing and using the trimmer, like this, yeah, the string trimmer. Oh my god, it's a lot of work, and it's just like you're just in the sun all day. Like there's no straw hat wide enough to make this worthwhile. Let's get the chicken in the oven for just a few minutes. While the oven heats up, I'll put the chicken in there, and then once it's heated up, we'll actually season the things. Words. Master of splits. A Philly cheesesteak big salad is absolutely possible. Yeah, you could definitely do that. You'd have what would you put in that? You put your shaved steak on top, fried onions mixed in with everything. The croutons would be the bread, obviously. And I think for the cheese, you could either do like a queso dressing, or no, not a queso dressing. Roll that back. I feel like what you would want to do with that, you'd probably want to do like I was gonna say, you can't like melt the cheese. You don't want melted cheese dressing. You could do like cheesy croutons. That could be interesting. And obviously a hearty green. My fudge rolling, welcome in. Hello. Of course, that's great. Sounds exciting, and also a good, not a good next step, but like a very solid, if you're working with an agency, like sounds like a nice in. Cyber K Chop, welcome in. You would accept melty cheese dressing? Okay. It does work. It does work. Spring mix. You could do a spring mix for the greens. I was thinking if you, I guess it depends if you want the beef on it warm or not. If it's not warm, then spring mix would be great. If it is warm, like a heartier green might be better. I always hate when there's like really light, the delicate spring mix greens, like when they wilt, they just get like soppy. Whereas something like a spinach might work better. I don't know. Maybe I just have spinach on my mind because I'm using it today. It's possible. It's possible. Anyway, here are our strawberries. They're beautiful. I got these at the farmer's market this past weekend. I can confirm that they are delicious. I'm not going to use all of these, and the rest of them I am going to eat on the couch tonight. Maybe I was thinking maybe I'll put some of that pesto sauce on the chicken. Maybe not. I think this chicken will probably be fine just as it is. Salt, pepper, a little bit of olive oil. progress. Spinach. I have some herbs. What am I using the herbs for? Do I need the herbs for anything else this week? I don't. Okay. Mint, parsley, chive, dill, fennel. We want to roast, so that's like, these are like in order of usage. Fennel, we're gonna roast. Bib lettuce, maybe a little bit of that. Okay, what are we roasting? The chicken, which is in the oven, the fennel, which is on the counter, and do we have crouton bread? We do. We have this sourdough that what is this? I don't even know what kind of bread this is. This is old. This is old bread, so it's perfect crouton bread. And then I have the rest of that baguette from yesterday. I want you to know that a really good snack at like 1 o'clock in the morning is a slice of this baguette with a little bit of that pesto that I made last night, just spread on it, eaten right here, just like this. Oh my. Strawberries and chives would be a good dressing. They would, and I don't know what kind of dressing I'm gonna put on here. So I had the thought that I might do a little bit of the simple syrup in a dressing, but that might be too sweet. Yeah, Shayna, basically after dinner, like on around like 9:30, 10 o'clock, I will usually get like a supplementary snack for the evening. I've been trying to have like a big piece of fruit or something healthy. So like I ate an entire container of strawberries the other day, like one of these containers. It depends. If I'm not going to bed, I usually just like continue snacking slowly throughout the evening. I was going to say mindfully, but that's not what I do. Sita, welcome in. Good evening. Good evening? No, try again. It's bright light out. Happy Wednesday. So let's cut this bread up. We'll put this in a bowl. Toss it with some olive oil. Toss them with olive oil, salt, pepper. Yikes! Hold on. While I'm in here, let me get the big bowl. The bigger bowl. Let me get the bigger bowl out. We're going to make the salad in this. And then when you talk about night snacking, I'm going to make the biggest salad. I'm like going to put all this stuff in here. And it's going to be larger than what we eat tonight. And so like later this evening, I'm just going to finish all the stuff in this bowl. Like that will be a snack. So I stay trim. I walk everywhere too. So that's super helpful. Like everywhere. If I'm not on the bus, I'm walking. Callie! If it's after 5, it's evening. Yeah, I could agree with that statement. It's evening. I would say that I have mentally moved from evening or from afternoon to evening at this point. I could have leftovers for lunch tomorrow. Those beet toasts. Oh, I also ate one of those last night. They were actually, I want to say they were better cold than they were hot out of the hike than they were warm. Because when everything was cold, when the beets were cold and the goat cheese was cold, it was like it all stuck together, and it was like a nice mix of things. It was kind of great, actually. Walk or bike. Can't get to appointments. Yeah, and that's the nice. I will say, we've kind of talked about like the city versus other. Like, I know for me, that's a huge reason that I love living in the city. Like, I had a doctor's appointment The other day. Yesterday? And yesterday. And like I took the bus there and the subway back. It was great. Early bird dinner specials, fudge darling. Hell yeah. I'm with you on that. I was thinking about that the other day. Daisy was Daisy was down there pooping on the door. She was down there booping on the door. Is she in the living room?
Pooping on the floor.
Booping. Boop boop bidoop boop. How else do you describe that? He doesn't know what that means. I thought you said poop too. I mean, I could have. It's not what I said, but it is possible that that's exactly what it sounded like. I'm not denying that that's what you heard. They are very similar. Okay, we're gonna do the croutons last. We're having, Calvin asked me, what are we having for dinner? We're having a salad with grilled chicken, croutons, strawberries, avocado, spinach, and anything else that I'd want to maybe throw in it. Roasted fennel. How does that strike you? Good? Okay. Good, but not great.
Yes.
Everyone's a hater. Nobody likes salad as much as I do. Not in this house. That is an entirely defensible statement. Speaking of entirely, this bowl is entirely too small to mix this. Dan, good day. What's going on? Hello. Mundane fam, hello. My brother lives in Pittsburgh. I want to visit. What's good down there? You know, I've never been to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is how far is Pittsburgh from me? Pittsburgh's about a 5.5 hour drive. I think something around that. It's wild. I've been near it. I've been through it, but I've never actually been in Pittsburgh. I have some friends who are from there who do love it, though, or at least who don't speak ill of it. If there's a difference. Sheet pan. Silicone mat. I'm gonna mix these up. Monday I am in Pennsylvania, but I am in Philadelphia. So it's so weird because Pennsylvania is huge, and Philly is such a different. Philly's very different than the rest of the state. It might as well be on the other side of the country. Exactly. Like when Calvin and I went camping, not last weekend, but the one prior to that, we were camping in Pennsylvania. It was nearly a 5-hour drive, and we were not near the edge of the state. We went from Philly, like in, and we're just in the middle. Chicken nuggets, fudge darling. Chicken nuggets on salad are actually kind of the best. And if I had thought about it for more than a second or two before starting stream, I would have used what do they call them? No, I would have used chicken nuggets. I forget. I bought them from Wegmans and they're called something different. Or I bought them from Costco. I think they might be called like chicken strips or something like that. Just like the breaded chicken. I definitely would have used those instead. But we're going to use some regular chicken, and I suppose that'll be fine. Chicken thighs specifically. Shayna, I love the work salads. And I was definitely always the one who like grabbed the end, like the salad at the end when everybody was like, all right, we're done. We're done. We're just gonna like do, the last of the pizza or whatever. I'd be grabbing the whole rest of that salad. I love when like work functions have catered stuff, because like no one really, I mean, at least it was my experience in that environment that very few people ate the salad. So I always felt, I was like, all right, this is good. This is good. Robbie, welcome in. Good to see you. Hello. Only the attorneys get the catered food. Does everybody else have to like fight for the scraps? I'm gonna put on a glove. This is silly. I'm doing this with a spoon, and every time I do every motion I make with the spoon, I'm like, wish I had the glove on. I'm like, just get a glove on. Pizza, sandwiches, or a Mexican bar. I mean, all of those things actually sound pretty good. I passed a Mexican place today, and I had like the biggest craving. It was I just had like the most insatiable craving for tacos. Soft tacos. Specifically. Okay, I'm gonna mix this up with my hands. Because the other thing is that when you're making like croutons and you're using a fat, usually I love using like roasted chicken fat for this, but one, I don't have any in the fridge. Usually I have some left over. But two, I was like, oh, maybe I'll use the fat from the chicken thighs. It's definitely not going to be enough. It's not going to be worth waiting until they're roasted, because there's only, if anything, there's going to be like a tablespoon of fat that comes out of those. But I'm giving these a squeeze so that it kind of mushes in, because I want these to be like a little permeated with oil so that they stay soft on the inside. A little liquidy. Not liquidy, but they need to be saturated. Hey, now we're using big words. You know, it's a big word when it's got 4 syllables. Sheesh. Moist. Yes. Chicken thighs are so much nicer for that exact reason. You can just leave them in the oven. And then you're like, was I cooking something like 2 hours later? And you're like, oh shit, my chicken thighs. And then you like open the oven and they're like, hey, we're good. You ready? And you're like, thanks, guys. Wait, guys? Thanks, guys. Something like that. All right, this is ready to go in the oven. We have our croutons. They look good. I'm gonna pop these in the oven. I said the oven needed to be hotter for the croutons, but like, I don't care. I'm just gonna put them in. The chicken itself might have thawed a little bit. Yeah, it did. Okay, so the chicken itself is thawed thawed a little bit, not completely, but I'm gonna get this out and season it while I am doing oven things, and then we will just pop that back in the oven. Chicken thighs and rice for the dogs. Excellent. That's a nice meal. That is quite a nice meal. Is that like a common, not common, is that their standard diet? Or is this is not a like specialty, they're on like a low a bland, what do they call them? A bland diet. This is just what they eat regularly. Oh, with their stuff. Okay, with their food. That's cool. Chicken thighs are great. They're my favorite cut of the chicken. I don't much love chicken breasts. They just dry out. They're like dry, and then they get dry and they stay dry. And I think chicken thighs just don't do that. I do love a whole chicken. I'd rather roast a whole chicken. They're dark meat. Yeah, totally. Totally. That's the best part. All right. So we're doing today's an interesting. Not an. I don't know. I was gonna say an interesting one. I haven't done a stream. I used to do. This was basically like what I started out doing. When I started streaming, this format of just like 5 p.m. roughly 5 p.m. until like 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And it's kind of interesting to me to think like I haven't really done. I did last week. I did just a dinner time, but I haven't really done just a like straight up. I'm just gonna make dinner. Like I have a plan and I'm making dinner. In a little while. It's been a while. I've gotten away from doing that. Which means that I've also gotten away from like meal planning as much. Or as strictly. And that kind of happens towards the end of the year anyway. Although to be fair, I've been doing longer streams and just doing dinner at the end of them. So I guess I'm just doing dinner at the same time. I'm still doing dinner at dinner time. It just comes after already streaming for like 4 hours. That's incredible. 16 and 19. 19 is for most dogs. I mean, for all dogs, 19 is quite a feat. That has to be. That's a long time. That's like cat territory there. I think my cat from when I was a kid lived to be 23, something like that. It's incredible. 19 is, whoa, that pan is still hot. 19 was the oldest female of her breed. That's cool. That is super cool. I'm assuming these are these similar to, they're all smaller dogs, right? I feel like the smaller ones have a longer, not I feel, I understand that the smaller dogs have a longer lifespan in general. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that is some type of like fact, some type of science fact. What would you take to eat at a winery? Are you doing like a BYO? First off, fun. Let me wash my hands. Havanese, Dijon. Okay. Yeah. So the same. Yeah. So you're like you're a brand loyalist, breed loyalist, which is super cool. Science and food. It is mostly food if we're going to be honest. It's mostly food with a little bit of like, I think I might know something about a thing. We've emulsified mayonnaise on this channel before. Jamie, thank you for your resub. That is an 18-month sub. I believe you know what that means. Which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Thank you for the tier 2 resub, Jamie. I appreciate you. I appreciate your support. I feel like you have you always bring a vibe that is both balanced and what's the word? I feel like you're antagonistic adjacent in a way of like not being a troll per se, but like appreciating the finer arts of trolling. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that is sort of like, Jamie, you've got the vibe. Like I could be a brutal troll, but I'm gonna choose to be nice most of the time. Troll adjacent. Yeah, exactly. Like it takes one to know one kind of thing. More fennel. I love fennel. It is such a good summer flavor. I'm gonna put the fennel fronds. I'll put the fennel fronds in my stock bag for soup. I learned to troll from Zach. Speaking of, he is very good at it. That is true. I am not a great troll. I'm just like, I'm either just really nice or like kind of a dick. And you know, it depends on the situation, not necessarily the person. I was watching something on YouTube last night about Dutch people and how they're like disarmingly direct, and I was like, I love that. I love that so much. I know Gwen definitely appreciates that type of thing too, where they're just like, you know, I cannot come to your meeting because it would make me travel farther than I would like. Thanks. No exclamation point. You're like, oh, okay. Uncommon, hello. Welcome in. Jen, thank you for your sub. I appreciate you. Good to see you. I hope you're well. Happy Wednesday. And you have remained a sub on the channel for a while, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Strawberry rhubarb crisp last week. Oh, from the test kitchen. Nice. Nice. I love test kitchen recipes. I know people. Maybe y'all have heard people say negative things about America's Test Kitchen, like it's not really science. It's not really science. They don't really follow the scientific method, and you're like, yo, are you a scientist? No. Okay, shut up. Thanks. I had a friend say that to me. I'm like, well, they're not really following the scientific method. And I was like, are you a scientist? And he's like, actually, I am. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, shut up. Strawberry rhubarb jam. I've never made jam. I've tried. I tried to make corn jelly once, and it did not solidify and was therefore not satisfying. It smelled great though. Wait, oh shit, I forgot to cut the core out of this thing. Okay, well that's fine. I can just sort of take it out as I go here. Yeah, and I'm gonna take these. I'm trying to remember to use the bag that I have in the freezer for stock, because it doesn't fill up if you don't put things in it. Surprise, surprise. Hypothesis. Right. Like, what's that? Hypothesis. This is going to be really tasty. Verdict. Or whatever. Conclusion. Yes. Oh my god. I've never, yeah, I didn't. I've used America's Test Kitchen, and I have a couple. One of the books, that new best recipe book that I use regularly on stream is from America's Test Kitchen. So I actually make a lot of recipes from them. I've never tried to use their web library, their web resources. Yeah, exactly. They have solid recipes. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, okay, sure. Like maybe they're not following the scientific method exactly, but like here's the thing. Like they're getting results in a kitchen, like that they're doing testing. Like it's the same thing you would do if you were testing at home and had unlimited time and budget and material, right? Shortcake, Randall. I'm not making shortcake today, but I did have the thought that I wanted to make a light dessert next week with the strawberries, and shortcake is on the short list for that because I kind of love it. I don't think I've ever made. I was thinking of those little like angel food cake rounds that we used to get at the grocery store, right? The little ones with the like the little carve out in the middle of them that you just pile the strawberries in. They come in like a little plastic pack. I was thinking of those, and I was like, man, I wonder if I could make those at home. But I was also thinking about just angel food cake in general, and then I was like, oh, I don't have a mold, but whatever. I was thinking about choux pastry. So it's on my mind. It's been on my mind. Strawberry pie for your birthday, Jamie. Sounds great. Sounds great. Do you have the recipe for it? Like, is that something that you would be able to recreate yourself? Favorite is Bridget. Shayna. I love that you have a favorite test kitchen host. I do not. Actually, I don't think I know. They all sort of. I know who they are visually, but I don't know their names. Consumer Reports, yeah, uncommon. That would be a good one to be able to get into. But no, you gotta pay. You gotta pay. How was that flirty? Which one? The pie one? I actually don't know. I have no idea what in that message is causing that. Maybe the AI got to it. No, I'll be like, in all seriousness, I have no idea. What happens when you add too much baking powder? It is, I've looked this up conservatively like 30 times, and I still don't know. One of them's better for rising, the other one's better for like spreading, and I know that they activate at different times at different temperatures in the baking process, which is why you use both of them, as I understand. I don't know. They are easy to make at home, and it takes a little practice. I bet it takes practice. Can you make them without a mold? That was my concern, is that I want to be able to make them with no addition. Like, I want to be able to like make them on a tray. They don't need to have the little cutout piece in the top of them, but like just a round thing. I have the recipe. It's not the same. Something's probably missing. There's always some technique, right? Some technique, like some specifics of the oven, or like some tool that made it do the thing. The dream job is to work at ATK. It would be pretty cool. I feel like it would be fun doing the nuance of the recipes and the testing, and sort of like, I would love it. Like, I would love all of like the documentation around it and all sorts of all of that. I think it would be fun too. It does sound like a dream job. Vermeil, welcome in. What's your favorite childhood food? Favorite childhood food? I'll tell you, I don't know if I have a specific favorite childhood food, but I can tell you I've been thinking recently a lot about my this dish that my mom used to make that was sauerkraut and hot dogs in the pressure cooker. And I gotta tell you, it was like really, really good. And I've definitely been thinking about it. I've been thinking like, I feel like I could make this, or I've been feeling like I should make it recently. All right, everything's in the oven. I need to set a timer because I have 3 different things in the oven that are cooking at 3 different times. What's the next thing that's going to come out of here? We're going to need to flip. How are these croutons? Oh, these croutons are like 4 minutes from needing to be flipped. So let's set a timer for 4 minutes and we'll get there. Chris Kimball. Oh yeah. Chris Kimball has a very placid vocal cadence. The Milk Street Instant Pot cookbook is bomb. I haven't tried it yet. I know I've seen a million Instagram ads for their knife. The bot is glitching. It could be. It could be. What is it? What is the bot reacting to? I honestly have no idea. Sofa, I don't know what Rouladen is. What is that? Grilled cheese with jelly on top. Hell yeah. Do you grill it? Do you then grill it with the jelly and make it caramelized? It's in vocal cadence. You know what? He does have a flaccid vocal cadence. The specific thing that I probably didn't enunciate well enough. I said placid, like calm. But, you know, Chris Kimball, flaccid vocal cadence. Flaccid, placid, just pick one where both are accurate. Both are accurate. The jelly after it's grilled. Okay. So it's not like, because when I make grilled cheese, like I put mayonnaise on the outside of the bread and fry it with the mayonnaise. And I was imagining doing that with the jelly, and I'm like, I feel like it would burn, but maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I don't want to be presumptuous. Okay. What else do we have here? We have pause. Strawberries, chicken, fennel, bib, avocado. Let me see if I actually have an avocado. Sofil says Rouladen is a traditional German dish featuring long, thin strips of meat slathered with mustard and filled with bacon, onions, and pickles. Holy crap. Is there bread in there, or is there a carbohydrate holding those up, or like do you have like the meat on like a plate and you put the mustard? Okay, so you have the long strip of meat, you put all those things on it, and then you roll it up. And you stab it with a toothpick, and then I'm assuming you bake it. Or fry it, maybe. But then you cook it from there. So everything's raw. Oh, my phone is off. There we go. Baked. Okay. I got it. Sounds good. That sounds really good. Jelly beansies. My favorite is raspberry jam and Swiss grilled cheese sandwich. That's a great combo. Lots of tartness going on there. Apples too, Fudge Sean. I agree with you. The grilled cheese that I made for our camping, for the camping trip that I had with Calvin, the one that I made completely ahead of time and froze, turned out so good. So good.
Agreed.
Will never, ever, ever, ever again, ever assemble a grilled cheese at the campsite. Will 100% of the time make them and freeze them ahead of time. Heat them up I heated them up on the fire. I literally put them in a chafing tray on the fire and let them heat up. It was great. Bellis, welcome in. Welcome in. The Monte Cristo sandwich from Bennigan's. I did not get to experience the Monte Cristo sandwich from Bennigan's. However, I do love a Monte Cristo sandwich. That sounds amazing. My timer just went off. Let's get these croutons out of the oven. We'll flip them over. We'll give them a little rotation. Put them back in for just a brief bit. They don't need too much longer. What is that sizzling? Oh, it's the chicken. Okay, great. I was like, what is sizzling in the oven? Calvin! I think he just like walked out the door it's karate time. I don't know. I wonder if he and Gwen were texting. She's supposed to take him to karate tonight, but she hasn't come home yet, so I don't know. He might just walk himself there. We'll see. Cheddar's Scratch Kitchen. Okay. I love a Monte Cristo sandwich. I haven't had one in a really long time. What's the other? Is there another name for a Monte Cristo sandwich? Am I thinking of? I keep in my head. I keep thinking of like a Cuban. I keep associating them with a Cuban sandwich. Stream is dangerous if you haven't eaten. I haven't eaten, and I'm peckish right now. I'm about to pop one of these croutons in my mouth, hot out of the oven. Oh, hold on. I hear the door. Callie, did you just go outside?
Yeah, I'm making a joke. Mom said be ready when you come home.
Oh.
And I was going to say yes.
Oh, she's coming. She's on her way home. Okay. I thought maybe you and she were texting and you were going to like walk yourself to karate or something. Okay. So she's just on her way. Got it. And is like right at the edge of being on time. Okay. Understood. Thank you for clarifying. You're going what? Okay. Do you have all of your things? Your bag, your water bottle? All your bong, the belts? Okay. Okay. Oh, there she is. Okay. I'm going to set a timer for 2 minutes here. Jen says Monte Cristo is like a turkey ham and cheese. Batter dipped and fried. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking of the ham and cheese. Are you thinking of a Croque Monsieur? I might be thinking of a Croque Monsieur. His bong arrived. The bong is the name of the weapon that he uses in karate. We've got a lot of mileage with that joke. In this house. We do have croutons, Liz. I managed. They're going to be good, too. I'm going to get them out. I'm going to get them out right before we have a quick break. Or basically right as we start a quick break here. In a minute. Croque Monsieur has an egg. Yes. Now, I mean, I'm mixing it with like... I'm mixing it with a Reuben as well. Like all those sort of sandwiches that have like a dressing, like a nice, like hearty, creamy dressing on them. They all go together in my head. I got distracted by the less fun paying job. That makes sense. That definitely, I understand that. Okay, we're going to take a quick break right now. I'm going to file some of these dishes away. We will be back here in just a moment. I'm going to run a game of words on stream as we do. If you're new, if you don't want to experience an ad on the Twitch platform, you can subscribe on YouTube. There it is. There's a link in chat. We're going to play a game of words on stream. We'll be right back. It's a 3-minute ad. Then we're going to put a bunch of greens in a bowl. Okay, BRB. Is it going to go?
Hi.
There it is. Okay.
Welcome to another edition of Commercials I Hate.
All right. We are running 3 minutes of ads per hour. And we are running 3 minutes of ads per hour. Shit's falling. Okay, my timer's going off, so I think I need to get these croutons out now. Despite the fact that we are in an ad. If I don't, they'll burn. And there's no amount of advertising that wants burns croutons to happen. All right, I'm gonna set a timer for 5 more minutes because that will allow the, and then maybe we'll have the fennel finished. Actually, I'm gonna move the fennel. Move the fennel to a different shelf. Now that the croutons are gone, I can move the fennel to the top shelf. And they will have air circulating. Perfect. Okay. Good. All right. Let's do these few dishes in the sink. I have myself set up. I put hot water in the dish pan right ahead of stream. I was like, I'm going to do these dishes, right? Just these few dishes during the first break. And then we're not going to have any dishes. It's going to be amazing. And it will be. Because we're not going to have any dishes. It is going to be fantastic. If you see someone who's typing words in chat, but they're got a little lock icon next to their name on the screen, just remember that you can type those words. You don't have to wait for them to type them. It is a team effort. So if you see someone typing a word and you're like, I think that's real, but they have a lock, go ahead and type it anyway. That one was rough. It was kind of rough. Yes, that one looked a little rough. We're just moving on. All right, almost finished with some dishes. Beautiful. Beautiful. Love to finish the dishes on stream. Not finish. We're not going to finish. I'm going to have to come back to those. But at least we got most of them done. 3, 2, 1. Hey, if you're on Twitch, welcome back. Thank you for your patience. Should be finished with the ad break by now. If you're not finished with the ad break, just wait. Eventually it will end. We're playing words on stream. We have 4 4-letter words left to go. 3 4-letter words left to go. 3 4-letter words. 1 4-letter word. Coke. Interesting. I wonder in what context they consider that a word. Because usually I don't have brands. All right. Nice work. Nice work. See, that was solid. That was a solid effort. Let me see the board in chat. Good work. Coke. Yes. Yeah, like what? Mostly Words and Stream doesn't support proper nouns, brand names, businesses, like things like that. So I'm curious where that one's coming from. It's never a word. It's not. It's the bot was so quick. The bot was on top of that one. Coke isn't soda. Maybe. Yeah, and people call it Coke. That's right. Some people just call it Coke, even though it's like that. And when they were talking about all soda. Yeah, let me get a Coke. Pepsi okay? No. What? Who does that? Just kidding. No. Do you have iced tea? It's a rooster, right? That's what we're always talking about. A solid fuel made by heating coal in the absence of air, so that the volatile components are driven off. The more you know. See, I have for like 2 years wanted I want, it's something super specific that I want, so I haven't found it, but I want the more you know thing to come on screen, like enter right here and sort of go like that across the top and then come down like behind this thing. And if we had that, I would have pushed the button just there and it would have done that and it would have been really cool. In the future, instead of that, it's just going to go to a link to a clip of me saying that. Anyway, let's go to my basement still from when the furnace was cold. Okay, this is interesting. I love learning a new word. I haven't, that's definitely a new word. I'm like, what does Coke mean? It's a brand or a drug. I did not have it chalked up to be a solid fuel made by heating coal in the absence of air so that the volatile components are driven off. Would not have occurred to me. Shocking, I know. Okay. Fennel's looking good. Fennel is roasting. This is going to take a little while longer. We're doing all of this roasting stuff now, like first, because I really just want to turn the timer off. Turn the oven off, not the timer. I also want to turn the timer off. If the timer's on, it means the oven's probably on. So I do want to eventually turn the timer off. Let's temp this chicken real quick so that I know where it's at. I kind of wish they would just make it one thing again. I know. I mean, you used to put all sorts of good stuff in there. What happened? Oh, right. Science. People were like, yeah, about that recipe y'all got there. All right, we're at 155 in the narrowest or the thickest part of this. And these are chicken thighs, so I'm going to let them cook for like another hour and a half. Just kidding. We're going to let these cook for maybe like 10 more minutes, and then they'll be 160 everywhere. I want all of this to cool down. Like, I don't want hot chicken on the salad. Oh, shoot. I've really gotten myself into a pickle. I can't grab it there, because then it's not... Okay, there we go. Let's check these croutons. Crunch. Yeah, they're pretty good. I got them out of the oven at the right time. Cinderella, welcome in. Hello. Carly, congratulations. You ate a strawberry from your garden today. That is super cool. That is really kind of nice and awesome. Even if it's like literally just one strawberry, like, that's really cool. Jordy, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. We're making salad today. What did I say? I was going to put that in for another, how many minutes did I say? 5? Sure. Perfect. We'll do 5. Okay, so the stuff in the oven is basically just coasting. I don't need to do anything else except take it out at this point, because I'm going to temp. I don't need to temp the chicken again. We're just going to take it out because it's going to be hot enough. Now, let's get the greens into the bowl, because they're taking up a lot of space on the counter, and I'm not all about that. So let's get these in here now. We'll do these, and then we'll start putting the other stuff like on top as we build a salad here. We've got some spinach. This is already washed. It's ready to go. I'm just going to dump it into the bowl, and then I'm going to take my scissors and cut this. instead of cutting it with a knife on a cutting board, it's going to take the poultry shears and I'm going to give this a little chop here because some of the spinach leaves in here are rather sizable. Most of them are normal size. Most of them are smaller, expected size. Some of them are unexpected and large. So we're just going to cut this up a little bit. Maybe get some of any of the big ones chopped. And we'll do the next bit. There we go. Perfect. Fancy. It's a technique. It is that. It's easier in my head to do that than it is to go in and cut out, than to like put all that on the cutting board. I don't know, to like sort through individual leaves. I'd rather just like, I don't know. We're not fancy here. This is a this is just a little home cooking, so we're not worrying about what it looks like either. I'm gonna cut this bib lettuce though, because this kind of comes off into some leaves that I can manage nicely. They're already stacked on top of each other. I'm gonna cut this into some pieces on the cutting board. Maybe tear a few off here. I'm gonna pop some of this in. Jordy, is that a misprint? Or is that a compliment? Let's just use the rest of this lettuce. It's fine. We're not putting a whole bunch of other stuff in here. Usually with the big salad, I like to be a little bit reserved on the greens because I end up putting like everything from the crisper drawer in. I think today is a little less so. So we'll go ahead and just use all the lettuce. And again, I mentioned this a little bit ago, but I'm just going to eat the rest of this no matter what, actually. However much my family ends up eating. So I know I'll eat it, if nothing else. Alrighty. Lettuce is in the bowl. Let us move on to the herbs. Herbs. Love me some dill lately. Have you been using? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. In fact, I am about to use the rest of the dill right now because this is a use it up meal. We're going to add the dill. We're going to add dill and parsley and mint and chive. Dan, thank you for the bits. It's very generous. I appreciate you. I love the flag. Thank you. Thank you. Happy Pride Month. All right, this can go in my, I should just continue to have a little scrap bowl on the counter instead of keeping open in the freezer. Because I'm going to put the parsley stems in there too. Check the time. Okay, we got 10 seconds left on that timer. I was getting just my internal timer started going off. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't go off at all. Often it doesn't go off at all. But in this case, I've been thinking about the oven, so there it goes. Okay. Let's finish this parsley. We'll finish chopping this parsley and then we'll cut. We'll break for just a second. We're not going to break. We're going to just take a second to check the oven. The nice thing about a scrap bowl and having a scrap bag for stock, etc., is that if things like, there's like a piece of parsley in here that's not quite what I want, not quite the right freshness for using in a salad, but is perfect for throwing into a stock. So I don't have to compost that. When I have a stock bowl or bag out, I end up throwing so much less in the compost. Sometimes I just forget. At least I compost, though. It's not going in the trash. Okay. All of this. What I also love about a big salad day is that you just put everything in the bowl. It's assembly. You're just getting things out and assembling them. And like when the counter is empty, then you're pretty much ready. All right, let's get those things out of the oven. You got chicken in there, got fennel in there. The chicken is definitely finished. The fennel, maybe not so much. We'll look at the fennel and see what happened. Or what is happening, rather. Not what happened. We will look to see what has happened so far. That is, you know, is certainly something that will happen. Oh, gotta sit down on the counter. It's very hot. There it is. All right. Where's the thing? There it is. Trivet. Fellas, what is Twitch doing today? I saw that they launched an Android version of the mod view. Is that something that you're using? That you've gotten into? I've heard, I don't want to say mixed reviews, but it's I feel like a lot of folks have. I've heard that it's a big change in workflow process. Maybe not necessarily bad, but just a change. All right, we're gonna give that fennel maybe 5 more minutes. I want it to be a little bit browned. I want the edges to be brown, but the inside to be not burned. When I make fennel in the oven, as opposed to anywhere else, where the hell else would you make fennel? When I make fennel and I roast it, oftentimes I will leave it in there for too long, and it does get burnt, and it's really frustrating. It's great. Fellow says it finally allows mobile mods to do the things that PC mods can do, which is kind of nice. A little clunky. Liz, I was asking about the new Android mod view. Happy it exists. That makes sense. Yeah, I feel like it's it seems to me like a huge improvement. Did y'all see the moderator club that they just launched? I don't know if that's helpful or not. I've had a really lovely experience with the various Twitch hosted clubs. And I will definitely say that the staff has been super supportive. Like the staff that works on those clubs is very supportive and responsive. So it seems like it would be really nice. Android Update is not liking Twitch very well, just like autocorrect doesn't like me. Valid. The thing with autocorrect, I think when you're in a chat, it's sometimes like autocorrect is the enemy of, or perfect is the enemy of timely. If you're chatting and you're always super, I don't mean to say that that anyone specifically is, but I feel like it's one of the areas where I don't mind making a few like typos myself. I'm always very upset at myself when I make typos in like the stream title, things like that. But like I feel like in chat sometimes it's sort of things are moving and you can pick it up, you know? Liz says I try not to use Twitch mobile. Right. Yeah, I don't actually use the Twitch mobile app really at all. The only time I use the mobile app is when I'm doing IRL streams and I'm looking for someone to raid. That's it. All you have is a tablet and a smartphone. That definitely. So then you're sort of locked in. You're locked in to the ecosystem, right? It's funny. I don't use my phone. I try not to use my phone for messaging. Because I always make typos, because I hate typing on my phone. I don't know how y'all do any type of moderating on the phone. I don't think I could do it. All right, we're picking off some mint right now. And I'm gonna cut this up Put that in. Then we'll do the chives. Gonna do so with this salad, I'm going to mix the greens together. The greens, the fennel, the greens and the fennel I'm going to mix together. The chicken, the strawberries, and the croutons are going to be separate, and those are just going to be put on top of each individual serving. I'm not going to mix those in with the rest of the stuff. So this should be relatively easy. I had a craving for salad this week, and I had a craving for salad when I was at the market, and that's why I bought a bunch. Like, I bought the big bag of spinach, I bought the lettuce, and that's what I bought the strawberries for. And to tell you that I've been holding back on eating those strawberries is an absolute understatement. Like, I wrote my meal plan for the week on Saturday, and I was like, am I really gonna have to wait until Wednesday to eat the rest of these strawberries? And lo and behold, we have arrived at Wednesday, and they are here, and I didn't eat them, and I'm very honestly, y'all, I'm kind of a little bit proud of myself. So if you had the Bluetooth yesterday, I've definitely listened to Twitch in headphones only mode. So I guess I do sometimes. Mainly DJs. If I'm listening to if I'm in a DJ stream, although there are some folks. Often I will put a stream in my headphones. You know what? You're right. I'm like, I guess I do, but I don't actually use the app. So what my experience with it is, I like open it on my phone, but then I just put my headphones in and I only listen to it. So I'm never actually using the app itself. And PC mod on the tablet. Can you? Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming you can get to like a desktop view on the tablet. I just figured, hey, question, are we streaming together right now? Are we streaming together? Is stream together on? I can't tell from where I am, but I don't think it is, because no one's mentioned it. I fixed it. Okay, good. I did. I figured out how to fix it. I also figured out, as some may recall me, what's the word? Griping vehemently about not being able to figure out how to turn the ads off when I'm on my mobile doing IRL stuff. Not being able to turn like the recurring 3 minutes an hour ads off. Well, I fixed that too. I made a shortcut on my phone to that exact desktop version URL. And while I was doing that, I was like, hey, why don't I just turn this Stream Together tab off? So I did. Because the app that I'm using lets you create tabs, but then it lets you like activate them, and if they're not activated, it doesn't load. So the Stream Together didn't turn on today, which is amazing. Love to see it, or not see it, as it was. Why do all the elderly neighbors remember my name? I don't know. That's a weird one. Why do they remember your name? I write people's names down. When I meet somebody, I'm generally very good with names, but I'm also very intentional about remembering them. That same notebook that I pulled out yesterday with my feelings wheel in it, I have a list in the back of that notebook just of names and associations. Just like, I met this person, here's where, blah, blah, blah. And so sometimes when I'm going into a social situation, like, oh, I'm going to go to, I went to the school today, and before I walked into school, I like looked in the back of my notebook and I was like, all right, who are the people that I'm going to encounter in the school that I might have written down previously? Now, some people's names I know because I interact with them regularly. You know, I know the secretary's name because I email them when Calvin's absent from school and etc. But, you know, general purpose people. The other NPCs that I encounter in my daily life are just in and out. So I write it down and then then I'll look at it sometimes if I'm going into a situation. If Liz is really your name, if it's not, you don't need to say that. It's Lizard. Right. Oh my God. Twitch lets you put nicknames down for folks in chat, like how to remember somebody's name, etc. I almost want to change it in my instance. If you call me that in real life, I respond. That's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. I just clipped it recently, but there was a moment in the stream when I went to the Southeast Asian market with Cheese Please when someone was like watching Twitch in some capacity and came up to saw that I was streaming in the category, was at the place, and then came up to me and was like, hey, are you Eat It Dads? And it was really weird because I was like in the wild. It's like someone that I don't know said my name to my face, said my internet name to my face. And I was like, yes, hello. Are the dice new? Yes, they are. They're brand new. Calvin got them at Dave & Buster's in a casino for children, if you're not familiar. Yeah, Dave & Buster's casino for children. It's indoctrination. Anyway, he got them at Dave & Buster's. He hung them up in the car from the rearview mirror. And Gwen got in the car yesterday and was like, absolutely not. We're not having these. And so this morning, I saw them on the floor of the car and I was like, we'll just hang them up. They're not going to live there. I was going to put them over in the corner with all of the other stuff, but I didn't have a little screw or a way to hang them up, so I didn't. All right, we need to check the fennel. Did you see that? My brain was just like, there's something in the oven. And I was like, react. Right, because I did not set another timer. A casino for children is accurate. It is accurate. There's no windows on the place. You can't see out. There's no windows. There's no clocks. There's loud music. There's drinks for the adults that are the size of a forearm. What am I missing? Oh, there's prizes that cost a significant magnitude more in tickets, which equal cash, than the prize itself actually costs. So like there's a lot of similarities, right? It's all just a scam to get your money. But my favorite part is my favorite part about Calvin going to Dave & Buster's was it was for a birthday party. I didn't have to take him. His friend's dad picked all of the kids up. It was a very small party. I think there was 5 kids. Picked all the kids up, drove them from their house, chauffeur service from their house. Not really. It was just like, you know, guy in an SUV. Drove to Dave & Buster's, paid for the party, and then he took them to a bar. He took them to a bar afterward. It's a family-friendly bar, and it was in the middle of the day on a Sunday afternoon, so it was fine. It is a family-friendly place, but it is a bar. And Calvin was like, we were at that place longer than we were at Dave & Buster's. And I was like, yeah, it's because Dave & Buster's sucks. Like, there's a reason for that. I was like, he could probably feed all of you at that restaurant for less than the cost of like 20 minutes of gaming. So I get it. It was nice, Liz. It was extremely generous. And I was like, And I said, I was like, you know, he pulled up, and I came outside to see Calvin off, and I was like, and I had money in my pocket. I had like a couple 20s in my pocket, like you would take to Dave and Buster's. I was like, can I give you like some cash for this? Like, you're doing a lot of work here, my friend. And he was like, no, I got it. Like, we're good. This is like, he's like, we planned, this is the party. Like, I was like, all right. It was great. Gwen and I went to lunch, which we don't get to do very often. I smoked a joint and took Daisy for a walk. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. They were gone from 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. He put in some work. He put in some work. Oh, and then after a little joint and a little dog walk and things had like settled in mentally, I got in a really hyper-focused state and cleaned all the dog poop off the patio. All of it. Cleaned the scrubbed the patio. It was like I was in a fugue state for like 3 hours. It was great. It was great. All right, this grilled chicken is coming off the pan. I'm going to cut this up. Times it. It's like 6:12. This is wonderful. Salad days. We are in the salad days. Let me put this. I'm gonna put this in the sink, and we're gonna let this one soak for a few minutes, because it actually can, and that is actually helpful for this because I did just roast chicken directly on it. And it's got a bunch of fat burned into it, so time for the soaking. The other one I also put in the dishpan to soak. Hey, look at that! I changed the auto message on the thing. I think my favorite part about it is it used to say, sign this user voice so that we can get our own creator club for food and drink. And it worked. Now we have one. Kind of great. Pretty stoked about that. Not gonna lie. We do. We have a formal creator club. They had launched it at TwitchCon in Rotterdam, but they didn't. It wasn't in the new creator clubs. There's a new one for food and drink, and there's one for Roblox, which is super cool. The announcement didn't make it into anything in the keynote, but it was part of a session. There was like a panel session about like Twitch updates, and they mentioned it in there, and then they formally pushed everything live on Saturday. So it was pretty fun. It was a big day. I've been on the internet more in the past couple days than I usually am, as that kind of gets off the ground. But it is kind of, it's pretty nice. I'm happy. And the link in chat now goes to a link to sign up for it. So we're taking these chicken thighs. We're going to, let me cut these, slice these, and I'm going to slice them in half. And I'm just going to put I'm going to put these in a bowl here. So I'm going to end up making these, we're going to end up assembling this sort of after the fact. Yeah. I do want everything to cool down a little bit. Maybe. That's the thing with grilled chicken. I always want grilled chicken to be cooler. I don't want like hot grilled chicken on my salad, unless it's a Caesar salad for some reason. But if it's like chicken nuggets and breaded, then I want it to be warm. I don't know why. But to me, it's like, well, if it's breaded, my brain's like, it's got to be warm. And the rest of me is like, why? And then I don't know. And then it needs to be warm. That's how it is. That's how it goes. Okay. Chicken is really, really good. I love chicken thighs. I could just eat all of these. This would be a great dinner, just like this bowl of chicken for me. I would eat that any moment, any second. So what are we gonna do? I'm gonna cut up the strawberries next, and then we're gonna figure out a dressing for this. I haven't actually thought about a dressing at all. I thought about it for a second or two, but I think that's about it. I was thinking something with sesame, maybe. I don't have any. I put all the chives in the bowl. I put all my herbs in the bowl. So I can't do anything with herbs in it because I just put them all in the bowl. Sesame miso. Ooh. What would one do for a sesame miso honey dressing? Would you use sesame oil for that? Do I have sesame oil? Question. Do I have sesame oil? Well, I have malt vinegar. I have some more malt vinegar. I have liquid smoke. Oh, I have cooking wine up here. Okay, so no sesame in that cabinet. There is sesame over here. Texas, welcome in. Good to see you. I've arrived at a good time. You could use tahini. I could use tahini. Oh, do I have tahini? I don't actually think I have tahini. I might have tahini. Blend it. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I can put this in the little bullet blender. If I had tahini, that would be good. I don't think I do, but it's still sesame. That is sesame. So we're on the same. We're in the same. We're in the same realm. I need. This is so silly. I need Calvin's stool. I don't need a chair. I need to be like 6 inches taller. Like 6 inches. That's it. Liz, thank you for the shout out. I appreciate that. If you're hanging out, Texas Cryptid is a fellow food and drink streamer, a fellow kitchen/cooking enthusiast, a nice calm stream, a very open and accepting environment. I don't know how to describe that better. One of those, you talk about like cozy streamers. I think that's probably accurate. But I always struggle to call a cooking streamer cozy because like cozy doesn't include knives, right? Those two things don't usually sit next to each other on the bus, right? So I'm always like, there's a better word for that, but it is what it is. Cozy is my goal. Okay, well, I can appreciate that. Calm. I don't know. I always default to saying like calm, but that's not correct either. Okay, I know that I have sesame oil in here. I quite literally don't use it really ever. So let's see. Oh. This might be the only sesame oil I have left in this little container. So let's keep looking. These are all vinegars. I have mirin, liquid smoke, sherry. What we got here? Chinese cooking wine, mirin, soy sauce. At one point, I had organized this cabinet based on types of thing, but now it's just all shoved in here like no one cares. Let's see. I have What oils do I have in here? Milanese gremolata. I have a butter oil. I have a pistachio oil. I have a walnut oil. Ooh. I have a raspberry balsamic. That's what we used yesterday. I have, what is that? Sunflower oil. I think the only, what the hell is this? See, I should really I need a Lazy Susan. Ho! We found it. Organic toasted sesame oil. Don't know where that came from. Walnut oil could be a good addition. It could. I was thinking of a nut oil. As I'm looking at the pistachio oils in there, I'm like, yeah, let's do the walnut though, because I like walnut already, and there's less of it. So I might use it up. There's a chance that we use it up, which we love. I love. So I'm gonna get all this other stuff back in here. This is Calvin's stool. I made the top to it. It's from IKEA. It was so that when he was a baby, he could have a thing around him. He used to have a little bar in the back that kept you standing inside of it if you were standing in it. It's a fun little stool. The other day I was like, hey, do you want me to take the top thing off of here for you? And he was like, not really. So we didn't. Okay, I need to cut up the strawberries. Before I make the dressing, we're going to cut the strawberries up because that is the last thing to do before the dressing. I think. Strawberry, fennel, spinach. No, I want to cut up some avocado. I have an avocado. And I think I have an avocado. Did I check for the avocado? I did. Did I bake the feta? I didn't. I do have feta though. Can we talk about how Calvin cut this avocado? This is a leftover avocado from breakfast. He cut it in half. Through the middle, like through the middle, like that, like, and then sort of opened it like an egg, I'm assuming, which is funny and charming and not at all how I would cut an avocado, but that's fine. The feta, Liz, is going to be going just on the salad. Like it's an add-on. So the strawberries, the chicken, the croutons, and the feta are just going on top. You may have made up baking it. I did not. There's plenty of baked feta recipes out there, though. The thing is that when you're never really sure, it's like, did I think that? Or did, like, the internet just present that to me at some point and my brain is just regurgitating it? Usually, it's the latter. No. I want to keep the salt and pepper out for just a second, because once I put the fennel in here... Okay, next up for cutting is the strawberries. I'm literally just shuffling things around on the counter, Lou. What are you doing? What are you doing? Put the fennel in. Okay. It would be good if you had, like, baked feta, but it was cold again, but it had all of the, like, baked notes to it. I think that would be good. I don't think it would be too far off base. I've never baked feta. I've seen all those recipes before, but I've never actually, like, followed one. Okay. We have salt. We have a little bit of pepper. That salting your salad, like just putting some salt on your greens and the stuff in it, I think that's, to me, as someone who's eaten like many salads that someone has made in their own home, I feel like the salt and peppering of like the greens and the salad itself is not as common as I wish it were. I feel like sometimes it just doesn't happen. I also, though, on salad days, love that we get to use the big wooden utensils. That's kind of my favorite thing. The big wooden salad tossing utensils, as opposed to using my hands. There we go. All right, this looks good. Now, what else is going to go into there? I guess I'm going to cut up the avocado. I think I'm just going to end up building these salads in separate bowl, in a bowl. You know, no. I know what I'm going to do. Okay, I already know I know how I'm going to do this. We're going to do the strawberries when I put these salads in a plate, or when I plate them. I'm going to take another bowl and put greens and avocado and strawberries and feta in that bowl, a smaller bowl. We'll dress it. I have the hiccups, excuse me. We'll dress that, we'll mix that, and then we'll just dump that serving into the bowl that you're serving it in, and then I'll put the croutons and the chicken on top. And maybe like one strawberry, sliced up strawberry on top too, for looks. Before we get to the dressing, let's go ahead and cut some strawberries. We'll cut this avocado, and then we'll do the... I'm gonna turn the oven off. There we go. Oven's finally off. Good. Angry Rook says, I live alone, I eat alone. I can mix with my hands. I agree. And, you know, I generally wouldn't mind mixing. I wouldn't not mix this with my hands because I'm serving it to other people. I would either wash my hands or wear some gloves. I read something the other day, and I don't remember who said it or what. I remember where it was. It was in a Discord, and people were talking about gloves and cooking and the optics of when people are streaming to folks like chatting and saying like, "Oh, you're not wearing gloves. Like, how come you're not wearing gloves? You should be wearing gloves." Which always is funny to me. I don't think we've only ever had that happen like once or twice on stream where someone's come into chat and be like, why aren't you wearing gloves? And I'm like, because I don't fucking want to. I don't need to. Because it's not necessary. At all. It's not at all necessary. And I was... So this conversation was happening, and one of the responses was like, the gloves aren't for hygiene. The gloves are for protection for you. From like food and, you know, cross contamination, etc. Like the hygiene comes from washing your hands. My hands are clean right now. I literally just wash them with soap and scrub them with a scrub brush. They're fine. Like, I would put my hands directly into that bowl and eat and not eat. Maybe I would later. That's after dark. But yeah, the point is that it's for the hygiene is the hand washing. The gloves are not doing that for you. You don't put clean gloves on dirty hands and still have and say that they're clean. You still have to wash your gloves, fudge darling. Yeah, or just get new ones, right? But yeah, you do. You still have to like you have to keep your gloves clean too. I'm cutting these strawberries into I'm dicing these because I'm going to mix these into the salad. So I've decided that what I'm going to do is get a, like I said, get a bowl, and we'll build the salad. We'll build each portion in a bowl, and then dump it in. So I'll cut up a bunch of these diced strawberries such that I can put that in to mix. But then in the actual presentation, I also want to do like a little flared strawberry on top. V Black, welcome in. Says I wear gloves when I touch meat poultry, etc. And when I cut bell peppers, because I might react to them. Can still eat them just fine. And I wash my gloved hands. And that, to your point, like, yeah, the gloves in that scenario, you wash your hands, but you wear the gloves because the bell peppers have an, you have an adverse reaction to them, Like, yeah, you wear gloves when you're chopping jalapenos, so the tiny little cut in your hand that is not a problem previously doesn't start to burn. A Tootsie Roll. Wow. Liz, that is super specific. What brought that on? Can you like roll back in your head where the origin of that craving might be? That's a good one. I don't mean to make light of it, but that's what I've been calling kitten poop. Oh my gosh. These strawberries are so good. I'm really holding myself back from eating them the moment I cut the top off. One of my favorite snacks, like snacks and snacks methods, is just a cutting board, a knife, a thing of strawberries, and a little teeny bowl to put the tops in. Charleston Chews, yeah. You freeze Charleston Chews? I today had what I would describe as the best frozen snack that I have had in recent memory. Today, like from the corner store near my house. It was the thing I'd never seen before, and I got it, and it was amazing. It was like a, the frozen pops that you get that you just like put the freezer pops, the long, narrow iced freezer pops. It looked similar to that, except it was like squatter and a little bit wider, and it was frozen but also like creamy, which was weird. It came in different flavors. I got mango, but it came in coconut and tamarind also. And I had that probably about 5 minutes before starting stream, and I almost walked back out of the house to get another one. I was like, I could be like 10 to 15 minutes late for stream if I had another one of these. I didn't, and I wasn't. I was only about, I was about 10 minutes late. That wasn't because I had made what I would say are probably good decisions, but you may think otherwise. Anyway, the point, the long meandering point of that story is that I saw Charleston Chews in the store, and I had actually seen them, and like I registered them. They like, you look at a shelf and there's so much stuff, like nothing sticks. The Charleston Chews I remembered today, and I was thinking about them. I haven't had one of those in a really long time either. Those were the candy when you were a kid that was like, I don't know. To me, it was sort of like the unexciting candy. It was like the one that you don't ever pick, right? You don't like the Charleston Chews never picked first, right? On the playground, but they turn out to be like an all-star no matter what. They're like, every time you have one, you're like, I should have more of these. And then, 6 years later, you're like, I should have more of these. Okay, let's get a couple of these strawberries cut in slices so that we can make them look nice on top of a salad. Just 3 of them, I think. just do 1 strawberry per salad, because there's going to be plenty of strawberries in the salad itself. Okay, that's a good enough. That's a good enough amount, I think, for all 3 of us. I don't know. Maybe I'll put a couple more. Maybe I'll put like 2 more in there. I can always cut up more, but that takes longer, and like I don't want to. I'd rather have more cut up than what I actually need, because I'll just eat them myself anyway. They're not going to go. They're not going anywhere. I'll eat them with a fork. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if I don't put them in the salads. All right. That's probably good. I think that's, yeah, that's good. We'll leave it at that. So the strawberries, these are going in eventually. These are going in the fridge, back in the fridge, unless one of these is better looking than the ones that I just pulled. They're not. I'll eat them with my bare hands. I would eat these with the tops on them, which I do occasionally. If they don't have like a big stem on them, like a real thick, if they don't have a stem sticking out, I just eat them with the top, because you don't even really notice. You notice it for like 1 second. I was like, oh, that's the chewy bite. It's like eating the apple core, which you do. You can do. Which I do. Okay. I'm going to take these strawberries. I slice them. And these are like for presentation. So I'm going to keep them together until such time as I want to present them. In just a moment here, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to do a 3-minute break for a Game of Words on stream and for an ad that is also 3 minutes long on Twitch. So just a heads up, that's going to be happening pretty shortly here. If you're not familiar with Words on Stream, it's kind of like Scrabble. The thing with Words on Stream is that if there's a lock next to someone's name, it means they can't guess. But if they're putting words in chat and you're stuck for trying to find words, look for someone with a lock and they try some of the words that they're using. A little bit of advice. Okay, let's cut. There we go. Let's cut this avocado. I'm going to cut this avocado, and then we will adjourn for that. Just got to wipe this off over the stove. There we are. Yeah, like, how did he do this? This is a very odd avocado presentation. I'm going to cut that top round off because it's a bit browned from in the air. Pay no attention because I'm not great at this game. Project drawing. It's the thing with words is you can't win alone. It's not possible. You can't win without multiple people. So whether or not you're good at the game, you don't even need to be good at all. You can just poach words off of other people. And that is still helpful for the rest of the group. So no matter how you're playing, you're helping. This in that's true. So well, that's true. She's very good at it, and we all benefit. We do benefit. That is the truth. If I sit down, I feel like Words on Stream is something to me that I need. It's not that I need to like get in the zone, but there's a like once you're sort of locked in on it, it gets easier. It's like doing the crossword puzzle or some, those types of games. Like if you do it just takes, you kind of got to get like into it mentally. And once you're into it, things unlock. At least that, for me, that is my experience with it. The first game or two of anything like that is always like, oh gosh. Oh gosh. Jamie, welcome back. Welcome back. We're cutting avocados. We're going to cut avocado, and then we're going to adjourn for Game Awards on stream. And then we'll be back. Once we finish this break, then we will make the dressing. 45 minutes and I don't remember what we talked about. That's good though. I mean, not great. It sounds like maybe he got more out of the call than you did. And sometimes it's like that. Sometimes people just need to be listened to. Every once in a while, I'll talk to my mom and she'll talk about something that's on her mind. It'll be like 30 minutes later. And she'll be like, okay, well, I'll let you go. And I'm like, I didn't say a word. I barely spoke on that call, but okay, sure. Goodbye. It's funny. I don't have to wonder where I got my comfort talking into the void from. I am well aware that that came directly from her. Okay. This looks good. Do I need to cut anything else? I don't. We should be finished with the cutting board now. All right, let me rinse my hands here. And put this away. Okay. Let's take a quick break. Lives alone with his dog, so I make sure to check in often. You've mentioned this before, Jamie. I know that it's important. You've talked about having these calls, and I think that's really wonderful. I have experienced older member of my family having not been checked in on. Yeah, having not been checked in on, and basically like having suffered a medical issue, and like dealing with that for several days. So you gotta check in. If they're alone, you gotta check in. If they have a partner or someone that you're living with, you know, it's less imperative. Spends a lot of time with his sister, but they don't live together. Well, clearly they live close enough. It sounds like they live close enough to be able to have regular communication, which is great. Okay. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to play a Game Awards on stream. Here comes that game. 3, 2, 1. Here comes a 3-minute ad. If you don't want to sit through an ad, there's a link in chat, and you can go subscribe on YouTube and watch it there. Okay, 3-minute ad coming your way. 3, 2, 1. See you in a minute. Or 3. Okay,
Hi.
bye.
Welcome to another edition of Commercials
Gazelle. Did we have this? Excuse me. Did we have this one? The letters are familiar. That's true. Okay. Let's get I'm gonna get a container out for the croutons. No, I'm gonna continue on continue these dishes, Lou. Continue the dishes. That's what you were. Yeah, Jamie, I know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. Basically every time an ad break runs, I'm like, oh, another hour went by? Sheesh. Okay. I am usually caught off guard. Like, definitely caught off guard. Very familiar feeling. All right. I'm doing these sheet pans now. I'm going to pop them right back into the warm oven. "45 minutes," Angry Rook says. This is true. Although it should be on the table sooner than that. All I need to do is make a dressing. So we should just make it. Yeah, 45 minutes is, it's definitely doable. I feel confident that we'll finish in that amount of time. Do I feel confident that I could also fill that amount of time with absolute nonsense and end up being really late? Yes, I also feel that. But, you know, it's like that sometimes. Hey, the sheet pans are clean. That's usually... Sheet pans being clean from something I roasted on stream usually doesn't happen during stream. That is a rarity. That is a rarity, having cleaned the sheet pans. Incredible. Yeah, it depends, exactly. It does. It does, in fact, do that. And you could probably very easily get me to talk about something and distract me with something. I distract myself, damn it. I don't need anyone else's help. Okay, almost. All right, ads are over on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, thanks for your patience. Appreciate you. Nobody likes the ads. Nobody likes the ads. You don't like the ads. I don't like the ads. I like the ads insofar as I earn money from them, but I don't like them insofar as they are distracting and annoying. All right. Well, I'm pretty much finished all the dishes here. I got one cut. I got the cutting board and the knife to go, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to do those right this moment. And those can't go in the dishwasher, so they really do have to be dishes later. Yeah. Almost made it. Last guesses. Get your last guesses in. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 4-letter words left to go. Looking good. Look at how many words are on that board, though. That is a ton. That is a crowded. D. Congrats. You advanced 2 levels. That is a very crowded board. There were more words. There were more potential words on that board than I think happens in most games. All right. I said we were going to we washed all the sheet pans. I lied. This is still a sheet pan. It is going to be in need of washing. But I am going to take this. I'm going to dump these croutons in this container. And then I'm going to let this soak in the sink. New windshield. Oh, Sofa, when it rains, it pours for you, huh? I feel like you're in I feel like you're in a season of like things are breaking that send good thoughts. Okay, I just dumped the dish pan out under that. That should work. Alrighty. So when we put the salad together, these are the top. This is the top. 1, 2, 3 plus a strub. Then we have salad. We'll mix that in. We'll mix that in a separate little bowl. Let me get the serving bowls out. Oh, we're gonna I'm not doing the fancy thing today. We're gonna eat them out of these bowls because they're all the same, and that makes it easy. Okay, dressing. Sesame oil. You said miso and honey. I like those I like all those ingredients. I think that would be a good thing to try. I think I have miso still in here. I know, let me rephrase that. I know that I have miso in here because just the other day I moved it, and I think I moved it in here. Yes, I do. White miso. We want white miso. I have red miso too, but we'll use the white because I don't know. Because it came to hand first. Sesame, honey's in the cabinet, and let's get the little blender out. Just the little one. Just the little one. Oh, there it is. Okay. Not there it is. There it goes. I knew where it was. I had my hand on it. I was just trying to get it out of the cabinet. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. All right, I'm going to plug this in. Does it work? Does it work? Yes, it does. Okay, this is my bowl that I want to use for the other things. So let's get one of these to like start mixing here. Ask me a math or music question. You could ask me a math question and I would look at you like your face didn't exist and I was just staring into the distance. Liz says to whisk miso and rice vinegar together first, then add the honey, sesame oil, ginger, and lime juice. Ginger, what kind of ginger? I don't have ginger. Sometimes I have a piece of frozen ginger. I wonder if I could use, let's see. When I was thinking about dressing, I was thinking about poppy seeds. That was the other thing that I was thinking of, which I have. Great. Yeah, I'm going to add, whatever we do, I'm going to add some poppy seeds to it because I like those along with strawberries. They have like a good analogous experience. Rice vinegar. Do I have rice vinegar? I may. I'm pretty sure I have rice vinegar because I just pulled it out earlier. I have rice wine. I have rice wine. I have rice wine. You know what? Maybe I don't have rice vinegar. Oh yeah, I do. There it is. We're really pulling out from this cabinet today. That's kind of nice. I don't get in here too often. I don't get in the back of this cabinet often. Usually the things that I'm grabbing out of here are right in the front because I use them regularly. Let's see. I don't know how much of any of this that would go. So let's do. We're just gonna start small. We're gonna start small because the thing that I really want out of this is the like the sesame oil. I could just dress this with sesame oil and I would probably be okay with it. This honey is this honey is super slow. Okay, while we're doing the whisking, let's just turn this upside down so that it can start making its way towards the bottom here. Okay, a little bit of miso. Maybe do like a little scoop of that. That's maybe a teaspoon. It's about a teaspoon, I would say. Evil Marksman, welcome in. Honey under warm tap is your best move. Yeah, good suggestion. Good suggestion. I had considered, just a moment ago, I considered putting it in the microwave for briefly, but then I was like, it's in a plastic bottle. It'll probably melt. I haven't had rice vinegar in a while. I like forget what it tastes and smells like. Oop. Well, I know what it feels like too. Fuck, that is so good. Oh my god. Oh, that is so much better than like white vinegar. Oh, wow, that is so much better than white vinegar. It is bracing and good. All right, so we'll whisk this together. What am I even doing? Why am I whisking it together in there? I could be whisking it together in the cup that goes on the blender. It's fine. I'm just like, I'm annoyed. You know what? I'm no longer annoyed. This goes in the dishwasher, so I don't care. All dishes that go in the dishwasher can be used with impunity. Dishes that go in the sink? No. What's one more dish? I know. I know. It's all going in the dishwasher, though, so I don't really care. Even Markson says, I like rice vinegar. I find a little in your water because it does subtle flavor. It does. I had the experience last night. So the balsamic, the raspberry balsamic that I used on dinner last night, my son had purchased it. He didn't purchase it. He was with my mom, and she bought it. And last night, I watched him do basically like a big shot of it, and she was like horrified. It was kind of funny. She's like, how are you drinking ginger? Add the honey, sesame oil, ginger, and lime juice. Lime juice, that's right. I don't know if I even have lime juice, but we'll figure it out. All right, that should be a good amount. I'm going to add sesame and walnut. I don't know what to do with it. Reasonable. Just vinegar and anything, just like a splash of it, improves most things. All right, walnut oil. Beautiful. Honey. Yeah, we might have to hit the warm tap water with this. I find it strange that some people don't trust dishwashers. Yeah, I don't get that either. I melted one of these bottles the other day. Not a bottle. I melted a... What was it that I melted? I melted a jar of sun butter while we were camping. This is not coming out of the container. So I'm putting this in the sink in a piece of Tupperware with like hot water. I just had the hot water on, so I'm just going to put it in and it'll be fine. But I melted, yeah, where's my salt and pepper? There it is. I melted a container of sun butter next to the campfire when we were camping. And I came back, I was like, oh, this is the wrong shape. I find that with my dishwasher, sometimes it like doesn't, it like leaves residue on things. It's not always super reliable. Most of the time it is, but not always. Yeah, these dice are not going to live here because I do not like them there. They're annoying and in the way. Yeah, there's no way for hand wash dishes to get as hot as the ones in the dishwasher. This is true. This is true, unless you're washing them in boiling water with the desiccated husk of the hands that you once had, that are skin has sloughed off, and you're just like Skeletor doing dishes. Yeah, you kind of. The dishwasher's great. The dishwasher's great. Half a bottle of honey in my tea. Well, I mean, if you were going for sweet tea, you'd be doing great. All right, let's see. Is that going to do any? Do we get any better? No. Still. I might just pop this in the microwave for just like a few seconds. I know it's not ideal, but it works and it's quick. Better with honey in a glass bottle. That's fine. This is starting to plorp out of here. We'll just give this a few more plops, and it'll be ready to go. Man, if you're not looking at the screen right now, the sounds coming from here are probably super sus. All right, we're gonna mix this. I'm gonna mix this a little, maybe now. No, I am gonna do what I just said to not really do. I'm gonna pop this in here for. Well, that's the exhaust fan. Let's do 10, not even 10 seconds. Okay, that was 10 seconds. Oh yeah, way better. Okay, 10 seconds in the microwave. Same as running it under hot water for a little while. There we go. Now it's coming. Now it's coming out. Some of it is. Okay. I have no idea how much that was measurement-wise. It was an amount and it went in. There was probably more honey. There's definitely more honey than vinegar. More honey than lime juice. Do we have lime? I don't think I have lime. How about lemon? How about lemon? Let's put a little lemon in there instead. Bacon wrapped chicken breasts on the smoker. Hell yeah. Sounds like a good dinner. How long does that take to cook? Like, if he's putting them on there right now, does that mean that you have to wait a long time for dinner, or do they like cook pretty quick? I don't know how long it takes to cook something in a smoker. My understanding of a smoker is it takes like 45 hours. But I feel like that's not accurate. All right, loud noise. 3, 2, 1. Go. Jimmy says smokers take a while. Is the chicken for tonight? We heard nothing? That's wild. Okay. A combo grill smoker. This is the new one. There we go. All right, let's try this. See how it is. Color looks nice. Smells nice. Ooh, isn't that pleasant? Man, I really wish I knew how much of the things I put in here, because this is great. This is when it pays to, like, just build the thing on the scale and, like, just write the number of grams. Oh well, we didn't do that. I'm gonna add a little bit more in here, though, because I feel like this... I don't know if that's enough. I guess that's enough dressing for all of us. No. We're gonna add just like a little bit more of each thing. And get more volume. Most of the time it only takes 44, right? It's that last one when you get the smoke ring. That's what I hear. Some days when he works for 40 days straight and 12-hour days, he buys himself a present. And yeah, that tracks. That's good. A little treat for yourself after absolutely getting destroyed for weeks on end seems totally reasonable. Okay. A little bit more miso in here too. At most an hour and a half. That's probably making it well done. Well, Bellis, I would trust your assessment of timing for those types of things. I guess I can't whisk this miso in, can I? No. We're gonna let the blender take care of that one. And a little bit more lemon juice. All right, dinner is about to be ready. Dinner is about to be totally ready to get into plates, bowls, and that's good because I expect my family to be home presently. Food temps. Yeah, I feel like with that, smoking would be a weird thing for me to start doing. Not weird, but yeah, there's no... It's just like when it's done, it's done. It's got to be the right temp for sure because it's meat. But it definitely is a different... Seems like a very different discipline. In my head, smoking is like similar to sous vide because it's like lower heat for longer time. I know that's not true because sous vide is like a very precise amount of heat to get to a very precise temperature, but it's like that low and slow process in my head. It's like for some reason they just go together. All right, blender's back in the cabinet where it lives. Now, salt, pepper, dressing. So we're going to build these salads. We're going to build them. This is the top. This is the in. This is the in. These are the tops right here. This all is top stuff. Okay. And this is top stuff too. Sesame seeds. All right. Or no, sesame poppy seeds. Poppy. One or two cooks and get the feel for it. Yeah, totally. I'm sure I could do it. I feel like the spatial limitations, like I couldn't do it in the house, right? So like I'd have to find somewhere to put it. I just put it on the sidewalk out front and just sit there in a lawn chair all day. That would be amazing. The internal temperature thing is kind of cool. I love the idea of like putting a little poke inside of the meat and then just it tells you when it's ready. I think that's kind of fantastic. So here's what we are going to do. We're going to add like a big portion of greens in here. So I'm going to start plating one of these because it's about that time. It's about the time where my family's going to come home and they're going to be like, ETA! And I'm going to be like, it's ready. And then Calvin's going to be like, oh man. Because he always likes when they come home and there's like 45 minutes until dinner. He likes when there's like 45 minutes until dinner's ready. He loves when he comes home and there's like something on the stove still cooking and I'm like, you can tell when you walk into the house like what stage of process things have gotten to. And so when he comes in and he sees where I'm at, it's always kind of funny. Because he's like, yes, more iPad time. Sous videing steaks before grilling them. Yeah, just to get the char, just to get the little bit of the little bit on the outside, right? That to me is so amazing. I feel like if I ever went to a campsite that had electric, I feel like bringing a sous vide, setting it up in like the trunk of my car and letting something cook all day, and then like throwing some steaks on like the grill over the fire. I would love to do that. That would be kind of amazing. Be very into it. I don't eat steak. I cannot remember the last time I had a like steak, right? Like a proper whatever type of steak. But I would absolutely eat a steak camping. That's like when I would eat one. In the woods, going to put some meat over the fire. Feels very primitive. Damn, that is good. Liz, thank you for this recipe and for all the recipes that you throw against the wall. Some of them stick, and almost all the ones are amazing. So thank you for the like, here's the things that should go in it. I probably would not have put I probably would not have reached for the rice wine vinegar. Kroger screwed up and sent us free steaks. Hell yeah. Free steaks. That's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. I'll take a free steak. Salad's a bit big for this bowl, isn't it? Yes. Well, that's fine. We're just adding things on top, so they can just sit on top. Great. Orange creamsicle cookies were divine. They were divine. And you know what's wild? They were the simplest cookies to make. Like, they were incredibly simple and easy, and no real special ingredients in them. The only thing, orange extract was a bit of a, it wasn't a bit of a find, but it was like, if you're going to make these, it's pretty likely you're going to have to buy something. And that something is orange extract. Fellas, I believe you. I would miss bread if I wasn't able. I would be very sad without it. I'm just putting some poppy seeds on my hand and sort of getting them off of here little by little. All right, we did it. We watched Kanara make focaccia. Super. Yeah, focaccia's a fave too. Last time I made focaccia, it actually turned out well, but I think I need like a minute or two from, not a minute. I need another go at the focaccia, because when I made it last, I forgot to do the second proof, and it turned out well. It worked, but I definitely forgot a whole section of the process. Hung up your bread making apron for the summer. Yeah, that tracks, because it is about to be hot, and nobody wants to be standing in front of an oven in July. One of the next things that I'm working on, recipes rather, is a no-cook corn salad. I was thinking of trying to make it on stream today, but obviously Not obviously, but there was not, I don't think there was enough time. And clearly there was not. Since these, I'm gonna make the other two bowls right now. No, yeah. Let's make the other two bowls. No, I'm not going to do that because I don't know if Gwen wants all the things in hers. So let me just do this. We're going to do this. I'm going to show you what we made. Dinner's ready. Yeah, he's not happy. And Gwen's whining too. Why is everybody whining? I wonder what happened. Why Mom's mad at you for no reason? Okay. He's annoying. Yeah. Track.
On purpose.
Okay. Let's see. A couple things. Let me show you what we made. Let me show you.
Nothing. She has no food, no water. The boat's upside down.
Here. Okay, let me show you what we made for dinner. This is a spinach and strawberry salad. It has spinach, Bib lettuce, dill, parsley, chives, roasted fennel, croutons, grilled chicken, strawberries, avocado, feta cheese, and a dressing that has miso, lemon, honey, sesame oil, walnut oil, and rice vinegar. And it is, I did take a bunch of pictures. And hopefully, oh, and it has a couple poppy seeds on top. And hopefully, I assume it's good. I mean, I assume it's going to be good because all the components were good.
What? Bitch.
Okay,
That proves my point, Father.
I'm aware. Well, this is really good.
Cool.
This is hitting the exact spot that I wanted it to hit. I was really looking forward to the salad today, and this is great. Okay, thanks. I'm very happy about these, and the croutons came out very well. I usually overcook them, but I didn't. I didn't today. Minx Adicio, welcome in. Good morning from Australia. Good morning from Australia. Well, good evening. Good evening from Philadelphia.
Did you know that?
Philadelphia, East Coast, United States. It is 19:19 here, 7:19 p.m. And we just finished making dinner. It is done. It is done. This is what we made. I believe you.
What? What are you talking about?
Okay, I'm gonna be finished here in like 3 minutes. You can have my attention.
Finished already.
You can have my attention in like 3 minutes, okay? This is what happened. I told the family comes home. Everybody comes into the house like they're being shot at, but today they're shooting at each other. So I'm just trying to stay out of the way. Not literally shooting at each other. Okay. This is what we made for dinner today. This is a salad. It has a lot of things in it, and I am really happy with how it turned out. I'm particularly happy with the dressing. Which I will never be able to recreate in its exact form again, but it's good. The roasted fennel in here too is great. I'm gonna toot my own horn for like 2 seconds here. The components of this dish I have messed up in their individual natures multiple times on stream. I have burned fennel on stream, roasting it in the oven. I have burned croutons on stream, roasting them in the oven. I was going to say I've burned the chicken, but that's not true because I've never overcooked chicken thighs because it's not possible. but all the components in here I actually cooked the way I wanted them to, which is great. And it's great. This is really fantastic. I'm super happy. Love it. 8 out of 10. No notes. 8 out of 10 only because I wanted in a larger bowl. This bowl is way too small for serving this. This is the bowl that I should. Here's what's going to happen. Let me give you just the briefest of insights here. I'm going to put some of this in bowls. My family's going to eat it. They might have seconds. Whatever. Once they're finished, I'm going to take all the other ingredients that didn't get eaten, all the rest of these strawberries, the rest of this avocado, not the rest of the feta, because this doesn't be a lot of feta, not the rest of the croutons, but like the chicken, all of it just going right in this bowl. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to eat it with a fork, not this one. This is too large, until it's gone. That's going to be what happens with this. So I guess I can deal with this smaller bowl. Surfa, thank you for the shout out. Minx is a fellow food and drink creator club member. We have just gotten the creator club off the ground, and it's pretty great. Pretty great. Yeah, eating it with the big fork would be funny. If you I've never actually tried eating it with that fork, but I have eaten that bowl full of salad before, like full, like to the brim full, which ends up being a lot, if I'm being real honest about it. I usually end up being like, oh, why? I'm full. I'm very sore. It is a lot of salad. It's totally a lot of salad. All right, let's figure out where we're going to raid today. I'm going to keep it in the category, meaning we're going to stay in food and drink. Who is streaming? That would be really nice for y'all to go check out. We have A Recipe Reborn is live. Feta triangles. Lemon is also using feta today. We have Alice Black. Alice Black is doing kitchen things. Graham Tabatai Cooking is cooking today. Princess Sparkles is live in the category. Hippie Wayfarer is live with Dinner with Mom. Oh, two of our favorites are live at the same time and sharing a channel together. I think that's where we're gonna go. Who else is live though? Spaceballs the username. Spaceballs is also live. You know, let's go. Let's see. Let's go. See, the problem with Dinner with Mom and Hippie Wafer is that they're streaming together. Who do I actually raid? Because you got to raid one channel. We raided Hippie most recently, so let's raid Dinner with Mom. Because we love both of them. We will be back tomorrow. So for y'all who are hanging out this evening, we'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm looking to go live, I think at noon, maybe 11. I forget. Whatever the schedule says, the schedule in Discord, the schedule on Twitch, wherever that says, that's what we're going to do. We're going to be doing an IRL stream tomorrow, but I don't know what. So it will be a mystery for everybody involved, including me, at least until probably tomorrow morning, honestly. So we'll be doing. So, if you know what happened just there, I forgot. I was like, where's that sound coming from? That's not a familiar sound. What's that sound? And I just frantically looked across the tabs that I have open in Chrome. So I was like, which tab is making noise? Anyway, we'll be doing an IRL tomorrow. It'll be a walk around. We'll be on foot. The weather looks nice, and we'll be in the city somewhere. I don't really know where. Tomorrow's probably just going to be another like walking stream. No specific like touristy destination. Or we might be in the kitchen. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where my energy is. But regardless, we're going to go over and say hi to Dinner with Mom. Dinner with Mom is a friend of the stream. I think Dinner with Mom was my first raid, if I'm remembering correctly. It doesn't matter. She's great either way. But if I don't see you on stream tomorrow, if I don't see you for stream tomorrow, then I will see you in chat at some point.
You pay $25, $30 US for that?